Welcome back, guys. In today's video, we are going to discuss belt promotions. What do you think about belt promotions? Everybody does it differently. Everybody does it so vastly different that there's not really a standard on how somebody gets a blue belt, how somebody gets a purple belt, how somebody gets a brown belt or a black belt. Now, I've seen so many different ways that people get promoted, and I don't know what the right way is and what the wrong way is and what it should be. But in my opinion, there should be some standard to belt ranks and belt promotions.
Otherwise, what does it mean?
Otherwise, what does it mean? Right? Some schools promote their students based off of tournaments won. Some schools promote their students based off of attendance, how often they show up to class. Some schools have a grading process. Some schools just hand out their belts when their instructor or professor thinks that they're ready for the next belt. So, like, the gap is humongous.
If in any kind of profession, if you're a doctor or a plumber or even a forklift driver, usually there's some kind of certification, some kind of testing or some credential that you
Something you have to do to get to the next level of whatever you're doing, right? And why in jiu-jitsu, why is it so vastly different from place to place, school to school, area to area? Like, it seems weird to me. And I think that, as far as jiu-jitsu has evolved, there should start to become some kind of a standardized protocol for grading or promotions.
Well, it does add legitimacy to things.
Yeah.
And if you are people who move or transplant from one school to another, and you're a brown belt in one school and then you show up to another one and they might decide, well, you should be a black belt or you should only be a purple belt.
Yeah. And that's tough for me because I have that happen often and all the time where, let's say, blue belts sign up at my school and they don't have a clue what my blue belt curriculum looks like or even is.
Yeah.
And then they're expecting to go to get to their purple belts.
And it's like, well, there's still a bunch of my curriculum that you
there's
don't
a
know.
bunch of holes in your blue belt game that you have to fix before we even talk about you becoming a purple belt under me.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't even aware. I assumed that all schools tested,
Oh,
and
no, no.
it wasn't until a few years ago I was on an airplane. I was on a flight somewhere, and the guy sitting next to me, I saw the cauliflower ears and the knuckles, and we started talking and found out, oh yeah, he's a grappler and he's a purple belt. And so I was like, oh, how was your purple belt test going? So, oh, I didn't have a test. I just came back from the tournament and here was your purple belt. And my head went, wow, what?
Yeah.
Didn't know.
And now that's so subjective because in a tournament setting, who's in your bracket, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get winning and I get competing and I get all that stuff. That's important.
Absolutely.
But you win a tournament that, maybe your competition is
Not just
light. Like, you never know who signs up for the tournaments. And then all of a sudden you show up to the school the next day and you're like, oh, you've been promoted because you won a tournament.
you
Well,
you might have won that tournament just because you're super athletic. You know some stuff and you're athletic.
yeah.
Okay, and that counts to a point,
Yeah.
right? For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So, I mean, and I've seen, I know you guys out there have seen it often online. Somebody gets promoted and they have to walk through this tunnel of people getting whipped with the belts, right? Have you seen that, Lee?
Yeah, the silliness.
I'm like,
Yeah. It's a hazing.
man, what are you doing?
Are we in grade 8 or what?
I'm not a cow. Don't whip me,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
come on now. That seems a bit odd to me. And I mean, I come from a background where I've had to do a test or a grading for every one of my belts, blue belt all the way to second degree black belt. I've had to do an examination to show my instructor, what I'm capable of, what I know. He wants to see me teach. He wants to see me do all this stuff. And with every single level, I need to perform different things.
Yeah, and you want your belt to mean something
Correct.
rather than just the instructor likes me or feels sorry for me.
Well, and in my opinion, you want to feel like you're earning something, right?
Absolutely.
So just being given something is nice, Yeah, my attendance is paying off and my work is paying off. Yeah, that's nice. But without actually having to go through a process of earning it, does it feel as good to you? I don't know.
A university degree, it's a lot of hard work, and it should be,
Yes.
right? If you get a mail order degree that says you're, some kind of expert in some field, it's from Joe's Bar and Grill in university. That doesn't, how much credibility does that have?
Well, if you're an employer out there,
Yeah.
you start to look at this stuff, right?
People from this school never measure up.
That's right. That's right. And I get it. I get every single place has their own way of doing it. But I want to hear from you guys out there in internet land. Which way do you think is the right way or the best way and the most rewarding way?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the one that I want to hone in on is what's more rewarding to the students? Just being given the next rank, having to earn the rank through competition or tournaments, or having to earn their next rank through an examination period or process?
And it could be some kind of a hybrid thing too,
Of
where
course.
you say, okay, up to this level, you can get by on just your knowledge, but then after a certain point, like to me, if you have a purple belt around your waist, you should be dangerous.
Absolutely.
Absolutely dangerous for real to just about anybody who's not also a purple belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you can arguably you can get to a blue belt with, moderate amounts of ability on the mat and knowing some knowledge. But after that, I think you're going to stall out unless you can actually deliver the goods.
Well, and this also comes down to, jiu-jitsu as a martial art is a fairly young martial art,
Yeah.
right? And now we're getting to this stage where it's grown a ton, and the way every school instructor does it is different. So it's starting to become watered down where
Yeah. Do you want your belt? Part of what the attraction of jiu-jitsu is, it is hard to get belts in this.
correct.
And I like that that's true. I don't want my blue belt to be equivalent to something, and I'm not going to name another mark, but say an art where you go there 3 months and all of a sudden, here's your first belt, and then 6 months, here's your second belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Right?
Means I came to some classes and I paid my dues and I bought it.
That's right. And it could mean something different to each individual, right? Just because you have a blue belt or a purple belt or even a black belt around your waist, there's tons of black belts that are better instructors than they are practitioners.
That's
and there's
right.
tons of black belts that are better practitioners than they are instructors.
Just because if you're a purple belt, but there's a guy who's a blue belt who can regularly mop the floor with you, that doesn't automatically mean your purple belt is invalid.
No,
Right?
no, absolutely not. Now, with a purple belt, at the end of the day, you should be able to handle yourself.
Right.
Right? Like
Yes. That the outliers to that, oh, well, I'm not a killer on the mat, but I have this rank. That gets more and more of an edge case the higher up you go.
correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're 75 years old, well, that doesn't necessarily mean your rank becomes invalid.
And there's so many variables like that.
And maybe you're a black belt in teaching,
Correct.
right?
Correct. So knowledge translates different way, right?
Yeah.
Some people can verbalize it a lot better than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can perform it or do it better than others.
Those are different skills.
Those are absolutely different.
There are people who are absolute killers and they can't really explain to you how they do what they do. Their body just knows how to do it.
And they just go, "Ah, I just
You just
it.
do this
I just
and it
do it."
happens.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's 32 details that they're not even consciously aware that their body's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's internalized and that's awesome. You are an absolute killer, but you're not a great teacher.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Likewise, you can be a great teacher and not a killer.
Or you don't have to be. Right? Maybe you were at some point in time in your career and now you're at a stage in life where you just don't have to be a killer.
Yeah.
And the context starts to change, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're an instructor, maybe you used to be a high level competitor. What are you going to do? beat the bricks off of your students every day,
Yeah.
right? So there also becomes this point in time where, yes, being a killer is valuable, but being a mentor, instructor, and leader starts to become more valuable.
That's right. I do, getting back to what you're saying, I do think like somebody who's reached a point where you say, oh, I'm going to open my own school and I'm going to teach. I do, my personal feelings is, okay, at some point you should have been a competitor of some sort.
Yep.
I don't feel like if you've never ever stepped onto the mats for real and gone against a guy who's literally actually trying to beat you, if you've never really had much experience with that, you shouldn't really be a guy who's hanging out your shingle and saying, I got my own school.
Correct.
That's just my gut feeling. Like,
Because at the end of the day, when you have your own school, you're going to have the people that come through that do want to compete and become competitors.
right.
So how can you, if you've never walked in those shoes as a competitor, how can you groom competitors?
I am
You just can't.
my training and my day job, I'm an electronics technologist and I graduated back in 1990. I'm old. And one of my first jobs was working at a community college and fixing the equipment there that the students were breaking. And I'd worked there a little while and people liked me and said, hey, he's kind of got some brains. And there was, when they needed a new instructor, they opened the door and said, hey, would you like to be an instructor? I'm 22 years old at the time. I said, absolutely not. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I haven't earned the right yet to stand up in front of 23, 30 other people and tell them this is how this stuff works.
Yeah.
I need decades of working out in the field and troubleshooting things and dealing with stuff when, you know.
Yeah.
So it was the same kind of a thing where I said, I don't feel good about that. I had as a student, people teaching classes where I'm like, you just read this chapter last night.
Yeah.
I can tell. And I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Well, and that also takes maturity, right? So as we're talking about belt ranks and promotions and how do you get to your next belt and how do you get promoted? Well, it takes a certain level of maturity to recognize or realize maybe I'm not ready for a purple belt yet. Maybe I'm not ready for a brown belt yet. Versus you get those people that are belt hungry and they just want to put the thing around their waist to puff up their chest and be like, today I'm a brown belt. Like,
the last thing I would want is to be like, I have a brown belt. And then you're somewhere and somebody decides to test you a little bit and you can't measure up the way you should.
That's right.
I would hate that. I won't want that fraud thing hanging around my neck.
And you have to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, you should.
The darker your belt gets, the more of an X is on your back.
Yep.
And I can speak to that. Darker your belt gets, the more of an X is on your back. People want to see if they can tap out a brown belt, a black belt, a purple. Like, they want to challenge you.
And also, you're not physically huge. You're 150 pounds.
Yeah,
so people will look at that and go, well, there's a small black belt. I'll start there.
That's right.
I'll take a piece of that guy first.
That's right.
If you were 250 pounds, they'd be like, yeah.
That's right. That's right. So as a smaller human being with a black belt around my waist, I have that X on my back all the time.
Yeah. You're going to have people come in, new students, they'll think they want to test, what does this skinny guy
Oh, I've had that happen a ton.
I'll
I've
bet.
had that happen a ton. People
bet.
come in and, bigger dudes and they're like, you're just a little guy.
This won't be a big deal.
This won't be a big deal.
Which is a hilarious thing to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. But I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at here is every single place does it so vastly different. How do we start to do that? Like, at some point in time, it's either going to go like this and get even more watered down.
Yeah, there'll always be the extreme elite great people at that end. Those people will be that way no matter what. But the bottom, the mean, can start getting drugged down and watered down to where it becomes nothing.
Correct. So belt promotions. What's the right way to do it? Is it a test? Is it just given to you? Is it through competitions? Do you have to go through the hazing to get your belt, right?
That's the one I would say that's just dumb.
Well, it's silly.
It is.
Right? Like, why do you have to whip people? Now, the way I do it is, and you know this, you guys have a set curriculum where you have to perform your techniques that you need to learn and know. You also have to go through a grading process where you have to grapple live.
Yeah.
So you have to show me both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to show me that you know these skills for every rank and that you can also perform them under duress
And
with resistance.
I can say, both having done the tests under you and having seen them and participated as helpers, your tests are grueling. And something else is, when you're administering your tests, you're walking around, you have a clipboard. You've got a structure and you're checking things off.
Yeah.
It's not just after the test you went, oh geez, there was a whole section and I forgot to
No.
test them on this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You're trying to go for a standard, consistent way of treating everybody fairly.
That's right.
Right.
That's
and
right.
try and remove the personal, well, I like this person more than that one.
That's right.
You want to remove
Or
that, right?
you show up to class a little bit more, so you're
Yeah.
my favorite. Right?
You've earned it. Well, in a sense you have, but in another sense, if it hasn't sunk in and translated to game,
You have to be able to do it.
yeah,
And that's why I make my exams grueling, is because I want you guys to get to a state in your exam where you're not thinking anymore,
yeah,
you're exhausted, and now that's where your skill starts to show.
it's like a crucible where you've burned off all the other stuff, and you say, what's truly there,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Stuff that you kind of sort of know, it's not going to be there, but the stuff that you've hammered in, it's still going to be there for you.
That's right. And how do you perform when your back's against the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you going to quit? Are you going to turtle up and shell up? Are you going to make mistakes that you normally wouldn't
Are you
make?
going to be able to stay calm and keep thinking
That's
under
right.
pressure when you're hyperventilating and you feel like you're having a panic attack?
That's right.
Can you pull that back and get to a place where you can protect yourself and start moving forward again?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, that's, and as the student testing, I want it to be that way. I also don't want to show up for the test unless I am very confident that I am going to not only pass, but crush it. To me, then it becomes more of a rite of passage.
Well,
right?
and you said it. You just said it. You have to prepare for an examination,
Yeah.
right? You have to come in prepared.
And prepared doesn't mean cram everything in for a month before the test.
No, you're preparing for
A year,
a
2
year.
years,
That's right.
whatever
That's
it
right.
takes you to feel like, oh, you should know what the test is going to be about beforehand,
Yes.
like well beforehand, not a night before, a week before, but like you said, 6 months, a year before, and go, oh, these are the things I got to work on.
That's right.
And that means working on it week after week after week.
And this is what I'm being graded on.
Yeah. It's like taking a course in school or in university that lasts for a whole semester, and then there's a test at the end.
That's right.
There's little tests along the way, but the big one that counts is at the end.
That's right. Right. Versus winning a tournament. Wow. And there's a million different ways you can win a tournament, right? And does that really showcase a full picture of your skill and knowledge?
Your whole package. Maybe you're super good at one flow and entry and submission, and it works on everybody else who's in that bracket. Awesome.
That's never grappled you before.
Right. Yeah. They've never seen that thing that you're famous for.
That's right.
Oh, this guy's the omoplata master.
That's right. And I mean, that's a way to do it. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying which path do the students get the most out of?
I feel like that the tournament performance thing, it definitely should be factored into.
Okay, yeah, for sure. For sure.
You go, well, that guy is a killer. So why is he still a purple belt after 11 years?
Yeah,
and he's been training regularly, so.
So there should be some kind of a formal process, in my opinion,
I agree.
for promotions.
Keep it fair for everybody and to take the pressure off the instructor.
There is that, right?
Some of that. No, it's always going to be bad.
Right? It's the fairness thing, right? How do you keep it fair for the super athletic folk and the not so athletic folk?
Yeah, if
Right?
it's just, well, you're not athletic, therefore you're never going to get above a blue belt, that doesn't attract people who could gain a lot and give back a lot to the art over a lifetime of study,
Yeah.
right?
And as an instructor, I know I could take somebody that's the most non-athletic person, I could make them a killer on the mats.
You've said that to me, and that was one of the things that really attracted me to the way you teach, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just going, well, I'm going to gravitate towards the gorillas. I want to be able to take an average schmo off the street and make him dangerous. And I'm like, that's the guy I want to learn from. Because I'm an average schmo.
Everybody is,
Yeah.
right? Those high-level competitors, they're the 99th percentile people.
That's a whole other thing. We're not talking about hobbyist jiu-jitsu
That's
guys
right.
at this point.
Right? You could be a hobbyist jiu-jitsuist, you could never compete, but what's the purpose of jiu-jitsu?
It's a lot of things to a lot of different people.
It's a lot of things to a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, it's self-defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That's the biggest asterisk. You don't learn jiu-jitsu to say, I'm just doing it to do it. Most people actually want to learn how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And as a purple belt, a brown belt, even a black belt, you should know how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
But now here's my question. How do you know if you can defend yourself without getting put through a test?
Unless you've been to the point where you're on the bottom, being crushed, you're starting to hyperventilate and have a panic attack.
That's right.
How do you perform right then?
That's right.
And that can happen in a tournament. It can happen during a test. Somewhere along the way, it should happen.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's not real.
So now you know you can defend yourself. You're ranked accordingly.
When the rubber meets the road.
That's right. That's
Three.
All right. I want to hear from you guys. Belt promotions. How should it be done? Attendance based, tournament competition based, testing or grading, or just given to you.
Yeah.
Right? What's the right way? I don't know. There's so many ways to do it. I think there should be a standardized method. That's my opinion. I think it should be fair for everybody. That way everybody knows exactly what they need to do and perform and show up to get their blue belt, purple belt, and so on and so forth.
I agree.
I agree too. Let us know in the comments, guys. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. It's almost like a person could start to say, well, there's different streams. There's competition purple belt, and then there's hobbyist purple belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't invalidate one over the other. I mean,
No,
granted, competition purple belt is probably going to mop the floor with hobbyist purple belt. Probably.
Maybe.
Probably. Maybe.
Maybe.
Right.
Like